Hey, what's going on guys? Conmaan here. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the first episode of a new series for this channel, which is going to be called Simple Quests. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to break everything that I do down so it's really easy to understand so that you guys can watch these videos both to learn what kind of mechanics are the most useful for making quests, but also to get inspiration for when you guys might end up creating servers of your own in the future. So the first couple of episodes are going to be really simple, true to the name, and as we get further into the series, I'm going to keep explaining everything to the level that I do. However, the quests are going to become much more complex. So stay tuned, and I really hope you guys enjoy this series. Today's quest is going to be called the Pearl Quest, and it's broken into the following. The player is going to interact with a fisherman NPC to get their quest. The player is going to collect the pearls that the fisherman NPC asked the player to gather, and then the player is going to return the pearls to the fisherman, and the player is going to get their reward. So let's see this quest in action. The first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and meet our NPC, the fisherman. We're going to talk to him. He says, "Hello adventurer, would you mind helping me with something?" And then we're going to respond with, "What do you need help with?" And then he says, "I heard a rumor that there were some platinum pearls at the bottom of the lake, which I need to make myself a platinum spear for fishing. Would you mind bringing 3 back to me?" And we are going to say in response to that, "I'll bring you the 3 platinum, I'll start this quest." Just so you guys can see too, we also have it set up so that if you choose the same dialogue option, it'll actually say, "Oh, you've already started this quest." And then if we try and go ahead and turn in the quest before we finish all the requirements, it'll also deny us and say, "Hey, you haven't met all the requirements yet." So then after we say that, we're going to go ahead and head to the bottom of the lake, and we're going to gather the 3 platinum, and we're going to bring it back to the fisherman. And then this time, since we've completed the quest, we're actually going to turn it in by saying that we have the 3 platinum, and he's going to give us our reward, which is 300 gold, which you can see that I got in my inventory. So yeah, that was it. Quest is super simple, super straightforward, very easy to use. So now I'm going to break it down for you guys and show you how exactly I made it. Basically, there are 4 different things that you would need to use to make a quest like this, which are 2 scripts, a script to start it, a script to complete it, and then a behavior and a dialogue tree. I'm going to start off by going through the behavior tree since it is the easiest of the 4. We have a default update node, a default properties node, and then at the end we have a wander node which just has a distance of 3 attached to it. Very simple. And the reason why we don't really need anything more than that is just because we don't really want the NPC to wander off or do anything like that. If you wanted, you could kind of branch off, make him walk along a path or interact with the environment in some other way, but in this case it's not necessary. We just kind of need him to like stay in the general area. And then before I get into the dialogue tree, I'm actually going to go ahead and explain the 2 scripts that we have, starting off with the Start Pearl Quest script. So the purpose of this script obviously is to start the quest for the player. Before we start the quest though, we're actually going to check to make sure that the player has not completed the quest already, which is the if has history then notify section at the beginning. And then we're also going to make sure that the player has not started the quest already, which is the else if has history then notify part following that. So assuming that the player has not done either of those things, then it's automatically going to move on to the 3rd section, which is going to give the player a history of starting the Pearl Quest, and then it's also going to notify the player that they have started the Pearl Quest. And then for the completed quest script, this is going to go ahead and reward the player if they've met the requirements that the quest is asking for. The 2 requirements being that they have the 3 platinum blocks in their inventory and that they have the history of starting the quest. And if that happens, the player is going to have the platinum removed from their inventory. They're going to have 300 gold pieces added. They're going to have the complete quest history added. They're going to be notified that they've completed the quest, and they're going to actually have the start quest history removed. Otherwise, the player will be notified that they have not met the requirements yet to turn in the quest. And then the dialogue tree is really what brings everything together. It initially starts off with the player being greeted by the NPC, which you can see as the yellow dialogue box. The yellow dialogue boxes are actually the NPC talking, and then the gray ones are options for the players to select. So then we have the two options for the player, which is to say maybe later, that they'll help the NPC, which would just exit. And then they have the option to say, oh, what do you need help with? And the NPC will respond by explaining what they need help with. And then the player will have the option to start the quest, which runs the start quest script and then exits. Or they can say maybe later and then exit from there. Or they can turn in the quest, which then runs the complete quest script. So yeah, as you can see, this is all very straightforward stuff. The player can easily understand exactly what is happening. There's no complex scripts or dialogues involved. It's really just a matter of a couple of inventory taking and adding and a couple of queries for history values. One of the things to keep in mind is just to make sure that you keep track of the exact spelling for the histories that you choose to use for completing and starting the quest, because that's really important, making sure that you have those consistent throughout all of your scripts. And then also making sure that you know exactly how you want to format the dialogue trees. It is a little bit difficult at first. You definitely have to get used to making sure that you alternate between what the NPC is saying and what the player is saying. But then it's also kind of important too to make sure that everything is pretty easily understood by the player, what exactly their response will yield as an action. So if the player selects something and they don't realize that that meant starting a quest, maybe you should kind of reword it. Or in the case of what I did, I put start quest in brackets before the option. And you could even do that with something like the end quest or something else like that. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see what kind of quests you will end up making in the future with the information that I provided here. And if you guys would like to see more videos about quests, I would really appreciate you saying so in the comments section below. See you guys later.